at war. We will annihilate everything. Champions of this realm can do nothing to stop us.
You are very menacing. I just want you to know that.
A lot has changed in the last few years. The wizard gave me superpowers. And then everybody got superpowers.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
All right, here's the situation.
Started from the bottom, now the whole team here.
The daughters of Atlas are coming to hunt us.
Children stole the power of the gods. You ripped it from our father's core.
Okay, I feel like maybe I should be writing all this down.
Give us the powers, child.
Your world will not survive this.
You want these powers? Come get them!
Hey, Khaleesi!
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
All right,
Started from the bottom, now the whole team here.
we have one job to do. Save the world.
Billy!
I don't know how we fight powers like this.
I can't do this. Take my powers back. You gave them to me so you could take them back, right?
I spent millennia searching for a worthy champion. You know exactly what must be done.
Billy, what are you doing? I have to do this.
We end this now.
Yeah, we do.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now the whole team here. Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Hey everybody, so I just got done watching Shazam! Fury of the Gods, and this is going to be my review of that movie. So, I literally just got home from watching it, and I did wind up going to an AMC theater, despite what I had posted in one of the short videos a little bit earlier today, where I was having problems with billing-related issues, as in they have a stupid policy. They didn't make it right with me, but I do think the whole policy about making you wait 6 months to penalize you is stupid. But anyway, that opens the door that I'm going to start going as many times as 3 times a week for the purpose of making review videos. So in the case of Shazam, this is not a universe that I particularly follow. The DC universe, nothing against it. I mean, we all grew up with things like Batman and Superman and things like that, but as far as me nerding out over the DC universe, I actually don't. That said, they do have some good movies. I did enjoy this one. I haven't watched the first one, so there's some things from that came up in this one that might have been some useful background information. But overall, I thought the movie was great. I do think thought that it was kind of crazy. They have like Captain Everything power or something like that. I thought that was stupid. So this is one of those franchises where they kind of make it corny. I don't know how I feel about a bunch of kids that say Shazam and then turn around and have some magical superpowers. I don't know how I feel about that, but I do know that the movie was alright, so if you haven't watched the movie yet, I guess it goes without saying you should probably stop watching now before there's spoilers. Yeah, so I'm assuming that you're either okay with spoilers or you've watched it already, so we're going to go forward. And so they they start off in a museum. I'm sorry, I got a little distracted. They start off in a museum. We see these 2 women, as it comes out, they're stealing the staff, which way I gather it, this was a staff that was used to grant the whole team their powers in the first movie. I wouldn't know. I didn't see the first movie. But anyway, there's the staff. They steal this power because they're trying to recover the power for themselves. And so with that in mind, they steal the staff, and of course they have to put it back together. So apparently when the staff got broken, it destroyed this barrier between the God's world and the human world. And that barrier was the only thing keeping the gods from destroying the humans, because so I guess the humans are regarded as animals and enemies of the gods, because old-timey human wizards, excuse me, they'd punish the gods somehow and force them into their own realm and lock them there. So yeah, you'd get a little pissed off too if you got stuck for thousands of years in a place that might be your home, but you're not really supposed to be stuck there if you're gods, right? I don't get the whole let's put the gods in a jar thing, but that's kind of what happened with this. So they get back, they find this wizard that apparently, the way I gather it, was Atlas. Like, they were talking, like, so the daughters of Atlas are the two that showed up in the museum. They take it back to their place, and they got this old wizard locked up in a dungeon. And I'm pretty sure they referred to the guy as father. He's Atlas. And so, I mean, if I'm wrong, correct me, but that's the way I understood the story. So Atlas, they coerce Atlas with magic to fix the stick, fix that staff, because it was made from the wood from the tree of life. And yeah, so long story short, so the whole gist of the movie is in the last movie, apparently, Atlas gave all of his powers and split them up through the 7 kids. I had to count for a second. So there's 7 letters in Shazam, and each one refers to a certain power that each one represents. So like the wisdom of Solomon and so forth. So the list goes on. There's 7 powers. They split it up. And so they turn around and they're trying to get their power back because the kids were never supposed to have it. At least according to the gods, Aspera and whatever the other lady's name was. But either way, so we find out they have this younger, hotter, high school age looking sister that goes by the name Anna with the humans. And I can't remember what her actual name is, but she has a thing for Freddy, Freddy has some sort of medical condition. He can't walk without help, so he has like that brace with the cane. I'm not sure what it's called, but either way, he's got a disability. And so, but she winds up having a crush on him, and it's mutual. And so a few things that I liked about the movie, they like the scene where they showed Billy fighting the one lady on the dragon. There were some definitely weird things about the movie, like, why is that dragon made of wood? You would think that a wooden dragon would be really easy to destroy and catch fire, especially if it's made of fire, breathes fire. But I guess when we're talking the world of magic, you can have whatever the hell it is you want. And, but yeah, so the fight, I like the part where they put where they moved that dome that was all over the city, and Aspera had moved it to, to enclose on, you know what, let me look up the name of that. Let's see here. So Hespera was played by Helen Mirren. Zachary Levi Shazam. Lucy Liu played Calypso. Calypso was a bitch, and she was the one that was riding this dragon and was fighting Billy. And so it was a really, really crazy battle. Billy was really shocked to find out that, if your suit's made of magic and you use magic, and, if you're fighting magic, magic can set your suit on fire. And so that was because we had saw that before that his suit caught fire. Uh, it was Mary's suit that got caught on fire when she was flying. So I thought it was really screwed up how they kept taking each one of their powers until the only one who had any power left was Billy, who up until that point was a complete buffoon. Um, like I know it was on purpose, the way they wrote it, but having a superhero that is a complete insecure, like he was really insecure. Like we're talking about a kid who's 17 and just a few months. He's gonna turn 18 and he's going to be an adult, and he's in a foster home and he's terrified that his family's going to kick him out because all he's ever known is loss, and his family abandoning him, and there's just all sorts of messed up things there. And yeah, so he ends up learning, he admits that his family was, like the kids that they fought crime with. And oh god, what was that group? They called it the so they called it like the Philadelphia. Yeah, I can't remember the name, but it was definitely a name that he hated. But either way, so whatever the name was, he hated the name that they kept giving him on the news and in the articles. Like the whole city was just turning on him, and like they weren't very good superheroes. They had a lot of fun, but they were really bad at like doing actual superhero stuff. Like their goal was to save the bridge and save people off the bridge, but as it turns out, that bridge in the beginning got completely destroyed. So yeah, it was but with the end of it though, like he defeats Calypso, and complete, and Aspera like turns to the good side, like for the very last act of her existence, if you want to call it a life. I call it an existence. She kept that barrier up because she knew what he was going to do. Because Billy had found her dying. All she wanted to do was die in peace. And he's like, no, I need some favors out of you. And because when she got killed, it was by the dragon. It was she was literally getting ready to take control and have Calypso stop her stuff. Because what they were doing in terms of trying to take over the earth and plant the tree of life there was not meant to be, what wasn't the deal that they had. It wasn't meant to grow on earthly soil. It was meant to grow in whatever realm that they're from. And so it was corrupting the earth. It was being corrupted by the earth. It was literally breeding monsters. I mean, we're talking things that we've literally, like, I don't even know what you'd call them. Just ugly, terrifying beasts. Oh, and the unicorns, those black satanic fucking unicorns. Like, that was crazy. So what, apparently monsters are afraid of unicorns and unicorns hate humans. But if you're a human who's got Skittles, well, taste the rainbow, horsey. Let's go kill some monsters. And so they had a couple good scenes with that. Then we never saw the unicorns again. Actually, yeah, we did. So by the time Calypso was defeated, all these monsters and stuff just started disappearing, and of course part of that was the unicorns going back to the realm from which they came. But yeah, they and another thing that's worth mentioning is like that little pin called Steve that just says whatever you wanted to say, or you ask it a question. I feel like it's the movie's magical equivalent of ChatGPT. And yeah, that was definitely interesting. So yeah, if you have access to ChatGPT, then you have your own very special electronic digital Steve. So I know it doesn't write on magical paper that turns into birds that you can send message to the gods, but it'll definitely write things for you and give you information. But yeah, so I thought those were a lot of really good points of the movie. Things I didn't like, I felt that they were dragging out this whole taking each one by one power from each one of them. Just felt like it took too long. I thought taking Anna's god powers was a little bit much, but I guess every story's got to have that really sinister twist to put everybody in a position of disadvantage to make the story good. But again, I really didn't like how they threw Billy, the most insecure of all of like any sort of like TV character, any movie character, let alone a superhero. Yeah, well, I know you've got all these insecurities, but now you gotta go save the world. Good, kid, you can't even save yourself. But anyway, of course, he manages to do it, which is besides the point. But I thought that was overdone. I thought that was kind of messed up. They go into their parents' room and, oh yeah, we're superheroes. Here's an old wizard. But writers are doing that. They have the kid that comes out as gay, Pedro, and I'm not against, any sort of portrayal of like gay characters, but let's be honest here. That was a really cheap, crappy way of portraying a gay character. There's no development with the character. We literally see in one scene he's looking at a magazine with a dude with his shirt off. I think it was a baseball player they were watching. And it's like, okay, yeah, you like men, wonderful. Then later on, he just comes out as gay, and then everybody's like, yeah, bro, we know. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of a friend I went to high school with that eventually came out to me. I would say, well, we'll just say like 5-6 years ago, something like that. And he was like, yeah, I'm gay, and I'm like, bro, I know. And he was like, what? How do you know? How do you not know? That's my question. How do you not know? So I guess it was this obvious that Pedro was gay to the others. Again, because I haven't watched the first movie yet. I wasn't even aware there was a first movie until after I watched this. But yeah, maybe there was some more of that story there. But I really felt that was a really cheap. Like they really could have just avoided including that, and it would not have detracted from the story whatsoever. I feel that they wanted to have the token gay character, and that's literally what they did with Pedro. He doesn't develop. He's not talking to dudes. He's not. They don't do anything with him other than have him say, "Oh yeah, I'm gay." Yeah, so that was probably like one of the things, and yeah, and the other thing that I'm not so sure that I liked was early on Anna was falling for Freddy and was completely heartbroken when she realized this sweet handicapped kid that she likes is one of the people she's supposed to destroy. Yeah, that's a tough one. Like you could see it in her eyes, hear it in her voice, and she like right out the gate, right after he reveals himself and he's talking to her, she's like, oh, it's not safe for you here, because she knew that bad things were about to happen. So yeah, but I'll I'm gonna wrap this up. And so one thing that I did like for sure was the way it ended. I'm not that well versed with the DC universe, so I completely forgot that Wonder Woman was DC. I know she wasn't Marvel, so she had to have been DC, but again, I spend more time with other fandoms than I do the DC universe, so I'm not, that well versed with it. But either way, so they're at the end of this movie, and the staff is destroyed. Well, not destroyed, but it's completely discharged and out of power. And they're in the God's realm, and it's all dying. And the only thing that could have brought it back to life, which would have saved the realm, was another God. So just out of the blue, Wonder Woman walks up. Like, really? Where were you all this time? Where were you all this time when things were going down? So, like, you literally just let this kid basically kill himself in combat. And now you're like, oh yeah, I'll rejuvenate your staff. Of course, everything starts coming back to life. So the next thing we see after plants and trees start growing, the tree of life starts having flowers all over its branches. Because I guess one of the things that got sent back to the realm was the tree of life. So when we were watching all these things disappear, these monsters and beasts and whatnot, instead of just ceasing to exist, they just transferred over to the realm they belonged in. Fair enough. And anyway, so things are coming to life, and we see a hand come up out of the ground, and it's Billy coming back to life, and he totally tries to hit on Wonder Woman, and which I thought that was kind of creepy, because it's like he's not even really 18 yet, but the character that plays the the adult version, the actual superhero version, looks like he's pushing 40. And nothing against the actor, but it's like, it's just weird that until he's he goes from looking like a normal 18-year-old kid to saying Shazam, and now he looks like he's fucking 40. Looks older than me. And but anyway, yeah, he tries to hit on Wonder Woman, and she just tells him, she rejects him, because why the fuck would she want a kid? She's Wonder Woman. But yeah, so I just thought that was really interesting. Of course, everybody got their power back. They fixed the house. The wizard shows up. Oh yeah, call him the van, the battle wagon. That was great. But either way, the wizard shows up. He wants to take his staff back because he knew not to trust the kids with it. I wouldn't either, especially after the first movie when Billy just busted it in half and just left it there in Europe, which is how it wound up in a museum and how we had this movie. Well, anyway, I want to wrap this up. If you got any thoughts, just share it in the comments below. And since AMC unscrewed my account, I can go see up to 3 movies a week at no charge. Of course, I just go buy whatever drinks and popcorn I want, which is the way the pizza or the movie gods intended. And just give me, if you got any movies you want me to go review. It doesn't matter to me what they are. It doesn't matter to me if it's a fandom I even follow. I think it's just as fun to review something that I don't follow as it is something that I do. But I definitely want to watch the first Shazam, because this actually was good. But am I really gonna like screw myself now that I've watched the second one and I watched the first? You know what? It doesn't really matter. The story's written well enough, it literally won't matter. But anyway, peace out, everybody.